Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is your real tour Hugo here with another live. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any questions about today's live, please, excuse me, feel free and reach out. I am just a phone call away. As always, ladies and gentlemen, I am your realtor Hugo, licensed in Maryland with Long and Foster. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about technology in real estate online platforms for renters and buyers. So, please, if you know anyone that'd be interested in the live, feel free and share it. We're going to be on all your major platforms: Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch, Instagram, X, and Spotify and YouTube Music. Gotta get used to that. I'm just gonna slap a QR code on there one day. I hope you all are having a great day uh, back at work and they're doing your hopefully due diligence after the weekend. Um, I wish all of you a great week ahead. And like I said, today we're going to be talking about technology and real estate and some resources that I have at my disposal that I can share with you all and that, excuse me, that you can find online with most search platforms on a quick Google search. So to start it off for today, technology more than anything else has changed real estate. It is without a doubt undisputable the impact of technology, and the MLS as well as online platforms are by far the easiest ways that we as realtors can communicate, and that any homeowner can list, or any prospective homeowner can look and prospect potential properties. It has become a real staple and cornerstone of our industry at this point, and it has replaced many of other advertising medias that were once very popular. We used to see a lot of print advertising, and now we're seeing a lot of online property searches and buyer consultations taking place. So platforms like Zillow and Redfin rose to power based on that. They really did have great platforms and still do. Their wealth of data helps to make their knowledge a source in the industry. And it has proven to really be prevalent in many of the data that we're seeing out there and the news stories that we see out there. I've seen Redfin, excuse me, pivot in the sense that they've gone more into data, and I believe more of a sense of research. I've seen a lot of promotion on their research and their reporting, which is phenomenal. And I feel like Zillow has geared more towards the actual brokerage services. They have kind of pivoted themselves to be a brokerage on their own, um, yet not a brokerage. So a brokerage with no agents, I guess, would be the philosophy there, since it's like, Uber owns all these taxis without owning any of the cars. That's the sort of philosophy that Zillow always had, that Zillow had all these listings available without, having all the brokerages and all the brokerage responsibilities. But the benefits of these online platforms are extensive and they're convenient. They help people find properties at all times of the day, 24 hours, 24/7. And it's really easy to just hop on a platform, get a few filters into your search query, and then get stuff sent to you every day. Especially for realtors, when you work with an agent or a real estate professional, they can set you up on what's a campaign, in essence, to let you know the listings that might be the most beneficial to you and your family. So, the convenience is there. Really, finding the home has changed. So our responsibilities as realtors has changed as well, because really we're not spending time looking for the properties the way we were before. At least I personally never have, and still have, thankfully been very successful selling over, what, 8 million, 3 million, 8 million at this point. So it's really, I think, but I'm biased. I'm a social media ambassador. Like, it's not really, the online platforms to me matter. They work, they're great, they're successful. But to every agent, they've proven different. And I know for listings, they all have had their varied success, because Zillow, is its own social media. In essence, where you have to go in there and fill queries and fix things in, and it's its own platform where you have to learn it. And so, are many of these extra platforms that are not part of our normal toolkit. There are preferred and premier level statuses with a lot of these services, and that does bring a wealth of tools to many agents. But again, all these platforms do different things, so the average client doesn't really know this. They just do a quick Google search and then try to put their stuff into an information bank, and they trust the information that's coming back out. Sometimes that's great, but you got to be careful where you're looking sometimes as well, because there are a lot of scams that I see, especially sent to me, asking, "Hey, is this actually real?" And I'm grateful people ask, because it's better to get 20 questions about one property than to have someone go and spend money with a scammer and lose all this income that they've worked so hard for. The online platforms help you stay up to date, and they are just easy to filter by price, location, and amenities if you need something particular. Virtual tours and 3D walkthroughs are a great way to have your online platform stand out. So all these platforms for the most part link in with the information that we put in. So if there's a virtual tour available, there will be a link to it. They have really gotten to the point now where all these platforms have to share the same information. So if the information is input correctly, it should disseminate out into the world correctly. And all the virtual tours, the video tours that used to happen, the photo tours, these can all be out on all platforms that are available. 3D tours allow buyers to really get a sense of a property without actually visiting it. It can be a great extra if you're looking into that. So, looking at services like Matterport are great, because they really do an exceptional job when it comes to scanning a property. They have an exceptional camera that is just built for something like this, and it makes a difference. The clarity is there, the amount of definition, and the spatial feeling of the property as you're shifting through the area. You can tell. Access to comprehensive property data. Online platforms often provide detailed property histories, including past sales, tax information, and neighborhood statistics. They can be truly reliable. Like I said, Redfin and Zillow are some of the easiest to get a hold of, and I believe some of the most reliable too. You also want to look at Realtor.com is another great one, because it's actually, again, supported by the National Association of Realtors, and that's a great source of data, not of listings. Probably the best source of listings will be your local MLS and Realtor. They can give you access to that. So, ease of communication. Like I said, Zillow and Redfin, they again make it very easy to kind of get into the world of real estate. They make it very digestible. They have articles, they have blogs. They streamline the communication between buyers, renters, and realtors. A lot of these services also provide dual service for realtors as well as they do for the clients. So, built-in messaging systems for scheduling viewings or asking questions about properties can really make it easy. And that's what I personally really do find phenomenal about Zillow. It doesn't stop the process of me answering the questions that need to be answered. And I find that exceptional. If they are going to do that, then great. Let us, make it easier for more people to go out there and look at the properties and see the properties. When it comes down to data and who's using what data for what purposes, that's when we get into this whole conflict of, well, what do these companies really stand for in our industry? But at the end of the day, if we're servicing the client as best as possible, truly we have nothing to complain about more than how to do it more efficiently and how to do it for less money if possible. E-property mining services offer housing code enforcement, complaint history, licensing, and registration statuses in Montgomery County. Online platforms often provide detailed histories, including past sales, tax information, and the statistics that you might need, like, how much there have been in recent crime when it comes to your local jurisdiction, if you look for your local PD. Talked about ease of communication, marketing insight. Discuss how users can access market trends, average price, and investment potential. Hmm. So you have Zillow's market reports, which I think are great. Redfin is very, very good. Realtor.com, exceptional. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and NAR dot, I believe, Realtor, their news is great. Um, but these are all sources that, again, are coming from professionals. They're all coming from people in the industry, for the industry, by the industry, and that's what you want. A lot of the other tools that you're going to really have access to are going to be paid. So I would be weary of those, unless you really are in the profit and the business of looking for properties for sale. It's not really, something the average person is into. So having access to those market trend reports and average property prices and investment potential, it's, you like the house, you buy the house for you. It's not really like that for everyone going in looking for return on investment, looking at how much the actual, turnaround is going to be with taxes. It's a different sort of calculator for that sort of investor, and it can be a little overwhelming for the first time buyer. But another great thing that some of these review sites do is that they actually talk about some of these platforms, and user reviews and ratings can help you get a good idea of which platforms are the ones to look into. So, as always, Reddit is a pretty interesting place for you to get some answers. Maybe not the most reliable, but it can give you a good feel of, what some stories have been of people and their experiences. But again, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. The other great thing about some of these platforms is that you can report fraudulent activity. So if you see something that is strange or out of whack, or that you find out is possibly a scam, you could report it, which helps bring down the ability for a lot of these scammers to take advantage of digital information that's out there. Sometimes people will take pictures and make listings for properties that are not available, and that can really be a nightmare for a lot of people, and a lot of agents, as well as a lot of homeowners. You want reviews from these platforms more than anything, because a lot of the platforms have agents that are associated with them. Like I said, Zillow has a premier level, and with that, it comes with its own, star system. You just want reviews. You want someone that's trustworthy, and be it on Google, be it on Zillow, be it on Realtor.com, be it on, Testimonial Tree. It has to be a review that you feel confident in, that speaks to the person that's going to be interviewing with you, for the position of your realtor. And that's what it really is. We're going to be interviewing to represent you. And that's what I feel, and how important I feel that the position of being your realtor is. So getting a feel for realtors on these sites is also a great way. Yesterday, I spoke about homes.com. That was a great site that absorbed in homesnap.com. And homes.com has agent profiles that you can go on there and check out too, so you can see the history of some agents. You can also go to realtor.com and nar.com to look at the directory of agents that are licensed. So it is really all the information you need from us is out there in the open, and should be easily accessible and to find. If you're having difficulty finding the real estate information for someone that's purporting themselves to be a realtor, I would look into it. For example, Maryland has a license lookup that if you type in real estate agent license lookup, it should pop up. It should be one of the first few choices, DLLR, and you should be able to look up the name and get a license for that individual if they are licensed to be a real estate professional. Not necessarily a realtor, but at least a real estate professional in the state of Maryland. A realtor, remember, it only means that you are abiding by the code of ethics and subscribe to being a part of the National Association of Realtors and all the commitments that come with that. So you want to protect yourself the same way you want to look up your lender, make sure your lender is licensed, make sure you're working with licensed people, your licensed contractors, all this stuff if possible. um where are we? Mobile accessibility is also one of the easiest things to make these sites very popular. You can have an app in your pocket and don't have to worry about like sitting down, typing in a search, and looking for everything. Again, Realtor.com is a great app, and Trulia also has a really good app too. If you're looking for apartments, I actually prefer Trulia versus a lot of the other sites. And the funny thing about Trulia is that Trulia is predominantly owned by Zillow, if not completely owned by Zillow. So the information is very good. It used to be some of the most reliable information, and then when Zillow got a hold of it, it just stayed that way. It was great. So it really has some of the most up to date information on some of these more sought after listings, I could say. Maybe listings that are in the lower price brackets. They really did have some of the best information there and were easier to verify because you could see when the information had been updated last. So if there was a change on or a delay on some of these other sites, you could always verify it on Trulia, which I really liked. um, Secure, efficient transactions. Well, the security of these platforms really varies from platform to platform. We've had great success with Zillow and a lot of the other platforms that we could probably spend a whole class just speaking about. But the thing with these platforms is that who are you really working with? Where does your information really go, and who is really processing the data at the end of the day? So that's why it's to be taken with a little bit of a grain of salt. Yes, the ability is there, and for many, it has been proven very, um, possibly the only option for their sale of their property. So we can't really knock it and say that, hey, it's horrible that they're going through these sites, because these sites really did give the abilities for everyday people to do real estate transactions, which they're entitled to. You don't have to be a real estate professional to sell a home. There is a limit though. So you can't just be out here willy-nilly selling properties without someone starting to ask you, hey, do you have a license from this? But these platforms did offer digital signatures and online document storage for lease agreements, which was huge. It was one of the things that really was revolutionary. It democratized renting and buying and selling a property, which felt almost exclusive to a certain sector of the population. Now, really realtors and real estate professionals are focused on more contractual obligations and perhaps other business endeavors and prospecting endeavors versus what they're really looking at properties for. I don't know too many realtors that are spending all their days looking for properties for their clients. They usually set up, some sort of automation or filter to try to help them out. But who knows? And the last one for today, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be future trends in real estate technology. A lot of the AI craze has touched a lot of these brands. So you're seeing developments in AI technology and blockchain security for transactions. So what they're looking for is they're not going to turn your sale into a Bitcoin. They're using Bitcoin's cryptography and the cryptography that's being used in cryptocurrency for security and anonymity to help secure your transactions and your data. So a lot of this stuff is being looked into. That's why I don't like to bring up a lot of different brands, because really it's hard and difficult to keep track of all of them. These are resources that are forever changing, and I am personally am not associated with. Neither are any of my companies or any of the companies that I work with associated with. So it's one of these things where you take your time and work with a real estate professional or a realtor that can give you guidance on what tools are the best for your situation. Sometimes there are agents that don't want you looking at Zillow. They feel like it's, hey, don't do that. Just look at what I give you. At the end of the day, as long as you get into the property is my philosophy. But when it comes to the information that you put in there, be careful. We don't know where a lot of this AI information is going to be going at the moment, and we don't know where these algorithms really, how are they, the back end of them, how is it working to really benefit the client the best possible. These algorithms are very effective, though. They match users with properties based on their preferences and past behavior, which can help predict movement. But a lot of that predicting is what has gotten some of these brands already in trouble. There have already been major cases in DC about pricing based off of software. So it's a still a touchy subject. Technology and real estate is maybe on parallel lines. They help each other, and sometimes they touch, and there's sparks. Things happen. There's some dangerous little things that happen, but at the end of the day, it's about innovation and about creation with some of the tools that we have. As for my own tools, if you want to check out a great set of tools, we have the bio.site, your realtor Hugo. Check it out. It's a really useful site with my four most popular links on there. It has a site and a link on there that's MLS access. When you click on that link will give you what is a basically landing page, and it'll tell you download this app and type in this code to get access to the MLS. Follow the instructions, download it on the Apple Store, on Google Play Store, and type in the code. You'll see it on there, and you'll have to type in a little bit more information about yourself just to get a name for your, filters, and you're off to the races. You can look at everything available on the MLS. If you have any questions, you can send them to me directly on that app, and it's right there in your pocket. So you don't have to worry about anything. It has truly been a game changer for me. So go ahead and check out that button on that bio.site, your realtor Hugo. It's going to say MLS access on there, and it'll be a great little cheat code for you and your friends. There are also some cool little codes on there too, if you're trying to value a property, and maybe even listen to the newest episode of the Daily Real Estate Live. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I really do appreciate you all tuning in. You really are the best crowd ever. And at the end of the day, if you have any questions, want some more information about what we're talking about this week, feel free and drop me a line. My phone number is 240-389-4846. My email is hugo@lnf.com. And my website is yourrealtorhugo.com. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow when we will be talking about. What are we gonna be talking about? What are we going to be talking about? It is going to be government plans and grants for first-time home buyers. I know a lot of people want to talk about that. There are some new programs on the horizon too, so keep your eyes and ears out there. So I appreciate you all again. Take care. I will see you all tomorrow. Get some rest and have a great night.